You're listening to the Morning Bull with Bonley Johnson, Bonzobitburg, and Little T right here on WBAM Radio. Rock on.
Yeah, like the man said, rock on. Good morning, WBAM Radio. Good morning, Puddin'.
Good morning.
Bonzobitburg is having an update on his laptop, or his computer anyway. He doesn't have a laptop, so he'll be in a little bit, but good morning, Bonzo, anyway. We'll see. I'll just keep sending him invites, and eventually he'll take it. So, what's new today? How's your butt feel?
What's new today? Oh, you are going to go there, aren't you? You're such an asshole.
My assholes
ass
do what
is
assholes
doing
do.
much better. Yes, I had the stomach bug for the last.
Oh,
actually,
boy.
it started right after last Saturday.
Was it?
It was about a week ago.
That's a long time.
Trust
That's not
me,
normal.
I know.
Well, I mean, a couple days usually. You have a stomach bug for more than that, man. That's wow. That's impressive.
Told you I was inflated for a while.
That is impressive.
Oh, shit.
How's the weather up your way? Your way, I guess you're almost straight across from me.
It is snowing. We're supposed to get from anywhere from a coating to 3 inches or 5 inches. They don't know.
Well, that's a big difference. Ask any girl, she'll tell you.
Oh.
If you only give her 3, they're never happy. You give her 5, they're content. 5 inches, that's all they need.
Oh.
But we got a dusting. I don't know how my family
snowing?
down south. It stopped. It's just the wind is blowing.
Okay.
But hold on, I got to sneeze now. And it's one of those ones that might come or might not come.
I was going to say continuous.
Oh, no.
I don't get
sneeze
those. 1
Not very
or 2
often.
or 3. I sneeze about 20 to 30. And
You could lose your driver's license over that.
Say what?
You could. If the government ever found out that you sneeze continually, they'd be like, I gotta send Bonzo another invite. He just ding-donged me. The government would be like, that's like a seizure. So, you can't drive anymore. Because it kind of is. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but it's not like really like consecutive. It takes like a couple of seconds, and then
okay. So you could actually open your eyes in between.
It keeps on going. Yes, but I could sneeze for up to like 5 minutes, and then Patrick and Minnie K go, "Are you done yet?" I'm like, "No." Are you done yet? No.
No, it was just one of those ones where you can feel the tickle in the back of your brain behind your eyeball.
Yep.
And now I have a runny nose from it. But if I would have sneezed, it would have been way worse. It probably would have coated my mic and my camera and everything else. Because I haven't congested this morning. So, morning, Bonzo.
Good morning.
I
was out of my office for 2 weeks, so when I turned my computer on, it's like, wait for update. It may take a few minutes. So I'm like, oh shit.
I did that. I came down yesterday because I knew that was going to happen. I was like, there's no way I don't have an update. So I came down yesterday and updated everything. But I still had to come down this morning and log into everything because I forgot to do that.
Yeah,
and
I was
then
working on
my Zoom, I was like, oh shit. I don't know if I know what email I use. If I use the BAM email or my own.
I was working on my show for this Friday, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I got an update. I had a huge update.
How's the snow up at your house? Because sometimes you get different snow than I do, Bonzo.
It's a couple inches.
We got about an inch. It's mostly just blowing.
They cancel shit over nothing anymore.
Well,
Tell me about it.
Everybody's afraid. They're afraid that the parents are going to freak out and come yell at them at the school board meeting, so they just cancel shit.
Yeah. Our school district closed last night before it even snowed. There one year they did that, and all we had was rain. I said, so you closed for rain.
It's getting bad. Today's the day they certify the election in D.C. and they were talking about potentially getting 4 inches of snow and canceling it. 4 inches of snow. I was like, come on, man. You guys make almost $200,000 a year, and you're like, I can't go to work today. It snowed.
Now,
The hell out
Friday
of my
night
face.
we had unexpected snow.
Yeah, a
we
little
had
bit.
We had snow squalls, and we had major accidents throughout the night.
We got more
including-
Friday than we did today.
including a 10-car pileup on the highway.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't
Isn't
like
it
that shit.
weird how the first snow of the year, it always happens. Everybody forgets how to fucking drive in the snow. We like to bitch about Southerners and people out west that don't have to deal with this when they come and they don't know how to drive, but we're the same way.
Right.
Even the people in Ohio and Pennsylvania and West Virginia forget how to drive. Now, by the second and third snow, everybody seems to have settled in and traffic can flow and there's none of those fucking 100-car pileup bullshit. But the first snow, there's always this major wreck. There's always nobody remembers how to drive.
Here you go. My mom posted this on her Facebook. It says, if it snows, please stay home. When you learn to drive in the sun, we will discuss driving in the snow. That is so true.
Well, you know what? I'll buy that. That sounds like a fucking bumper sticker to me.
Yep, doesn't it?
Bonzo, get on that.
Okay.
We'll be famous with a bumper sticker. When you
And
learn how to drive in the
WBAM,
sun.
yeah. It's true. But I think she just posted it up. My mom is on Facebook 24/7, so she posts all this shit.
Oh,
Here's
she's that
another
mom.
one. If you are praying for a blizzard, please go to Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Well, there are people. My cousin Carrie down in Caldwell, she loves the snow. She was praying for a blizzard.
Well, actually, they're calling for a
I
blizzard.
was wanting a little bit. I wanted to, at least
We got
5 inches.
snow.
I wanted to fire my snowblower up. I haven't used it for like 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah, we were just talking about hemorrhoids because I was driving around on the fucking snowplow the other day. And I forgot to take my seat cushion. That thing just beats the fuck out of you, man. It is bad. That's the one we use to, it's not a snowplow, but it's the one we use to lift them boards up to your loft in your garage.
Yeah.
It's just not comfortable. It's got one of them super hard. It's cushioned. It's a cushioned seat, but it's like hard plastic cushion. So it's not really. It's supposed to be like a hydraulic, but I don't know if I'm too fat or what, but I got it cranked all the way up and it still doesn't hold me. It bottoms out every time you hit a bump. And you see our road, it's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
So
it looks like they tried to patch it, but I think they made it worse like your other driveway.
They did make it worse, yeah. That was the township.
Yeah.
They took leftover, they paved the road in front of that road, and they just took the leftover and dropped it in the holes, and they didn't even do shit with it. It's fucking terrible. It is absolutely terrible. But yeah, let's see. She just posted. Oh, no, that's not a real post. Carrie was posting on Facebook about the snow, and it was I didn't look at it at first, but it's a dildo shoved into the snow. It says we're not quite balls deep yet. So, no. I thought it was a serious post at first, but I don't think that's her dildo. Her dildo's green, so it can't be hers. Why can't I get into it? I don't know. Maybe because I put it in there wrong. WBAMradio.com. Someone's trying to listen to the show from Finland, but I don't know if maybe her internet's not good enough. I don't know. Let me see if it works for me. No, it's not working. Oh, there it goes. Click that link, young lady. You should probably listen.
I was going to say, are we even live?
We should be. I think we are. I don't know. Let me see here.
I don't know neither. I usually have it.
Says we're live. Says we've been live for 9 minutes and 47 seconds. But I mean, that doesn't mean anything. I don't listen, so.
We're all discombobulated from being on break.
Well, yeah, I was telling you that earlier. We were talking before the show. And I'm like, I didn't address any of the issues that I wanted to. Yeah, Deborah says we're live.
Okay.
So, and good morning,
Who
Miss
knows
Deborah.
with
Good
us
morning,
three, right?
Sharbucks. And if sorry, Miss Christina, if she got to tune in, good morning to you too. And good morning to everybody else if you're just tuning in. This is Morning Bull with Bonley Johnson, Little T, and Bonzobitburg coming at you live. WBAMradio.com. But you already know that if you're tuned in. But you can listen on Zeno. I don't know what the link is anymore because I don't use it.
I use the app.
Do you still use the app?
It actually is better since they updated it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problems.
You don't use your own website? You go to the app?
Sometimes, but
What a loser.
when I
Don't even use your own website.
I do
You just ratted
listen, but when
yourself out.
I want to listen to the podcast, I go right directly to
Oh yeah, the
Zeno.
podcast. That's the way to go.
See, yes.
I use I just go right to our website, the Xena website, the tools website. It logs me in as admin, so I can listen to. I don't have to wait for them to update. I can listen to them live-ish because it takes about 15 or 20 minutes. Starbucks says she's using the app.
Okay. See, so she's a loser too.
It's not her website. She's not an owner at
don't
WBAM
care.
Radio. She's allowed to use whatever she wants. You, however, are an owner at WBAM Radio, and you're using the Zeno app
For podcast.
for podcast. Okay.
I put the
That
website,
makes it better.
Listen, I put the website on our TVs and I listen to the shows on our TVs.
Yeah.
On.
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 On. Yes.
Use guys be quiet while I listen on my TV.
All right, now here we go. Take on little T.
We should have Starbucks on the show sometime so we can listen to her Australian accent.
I like to hear it.
She would be confused because she would be like going 20 seconds into the future because she has the worst delay of any of our listeners. I don't know if it's because she's in Australia, but she is literally like 30 seconds behind. Like I think it's supposed to be like when I listen, I'm about 7 seconds behind.
I'm 15.
I think the further, I don't know where the fucking hub is. I have no idea where Zeno broadcasts from. It's not the United States. Pretty sure it's England.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure it's England or somewhere over in that area. Us Aussies don't have accents.
Yes, they do.
No, mate, you don't. See, I wonder, well, she's here, so let's ask. Is it offensive if people say matey? Because who is it? Is it England?
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
Mate. That was a famous commercial. Did you know that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but
It was a commercial for Australia for tourism. Do you remember who did it?
Was it the Dundee dude?
Yep, it was Paul Hogan. Yeah, Crocodile Dundee. We'll keep another shrimp on the barbie for you. That's how he would do it. Come to Australia.
I was watching commercials that were banned or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about the dildo. There's this one, I don't even remember what it was now. But a kid was playing with these toys. I think it was like right around Christmas time. He was on the floor playing with these toys, like a train and a truck. And he's flying. Looks like a silver airplane at first, and then he comes in close, and it's a silver dildo.
That's rocket ship.
And it says something about make sure your stuff's put away. Or something. But I don't even remember what the commercial was about.
The silver rocket. There you go.
The rocket ship. One of the TV shows, I think it was Modern Family. One of the characters is a teacher, and he was having show and tell, and one of the kids brought the rocket ship in. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And he runs it right up to the teacher's face. Look, he's like, nah. He's falling out of his chair to get away from it. Keep your rocket ship to yourself. Oh, she listens to us at midnight down there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, though, right?
They were one of the first to bring in the new year. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. They're 12
Yeah.
hours ahead of us, or not
Yeah.
12, but it's.
I was watching it on TV.
One of our listeners was exactly 12 hours. Where the hell was she from? Bangladesh? No. It was Crystal Walker, and I can't remember where she's from. Indonesia. Thank
Indonesia.
you.
That's
Thank
it.
you,
Yep.
Brain, for kicking in at the last minute. She was from Indonesia, and it's exactly 12 hours. So that must be exactly halfway around the world from us, right? I mean, that's how it would have to work, right? I mean, from the Eastern time zone, she would be exactly halfway around the world. Starbucks, it must be 3/4 of the way. Yep, thank you. See, she just now typed in Indonesia. That's how far. And she was ahead of what we said. That's how big her delay is. It's crazy when you think about that. It's crazy when you think about that there's somebody in Australia listening to somebody from Janaden Hutton on the fucking radio. That's insane. It isn't. It's crazy to me.
That's the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of what we do, so it feels kind of nice. So, did anybody watch any football this weekend?
I was watching
the Not for Long League.
I was just watching the scores. I wasn't really watching the football. I know I was busting your ass about the Steelers.
Oh, they're terrible. They've lost 4 games in a row now.
Yeah, but they only lost by what,
all
3
my
points?
teams are terrible.
I know,
lost
but
by 3 points.
But it's the
right?
fucking Bungles, man.
Yeah, the Bengals.
They always have a hard time with the Bengals.
Anybody in their division is hard, but congratulations, for getting to 10 wins that quickly, and then just laying an egg for 4 games in a row. Because now instead of winning their division, they've got to play the team that did win the division, which is Baltimore, and it's not going to bode well. They're not going to do well against Baltimore. Baltimore's going to kick the shit up. I'm calling it now. Baltimore beats Pittsburgh, beats the shit out of them. They beat the shit out of the Browns, which is, the Browns have given up.
That's not hard to do.
They gave up. Would they win like 3 games this year?
Yep,
Cleveland.
3.
Yeah, they're fucking
Same
terrible.
with Dallas. Oh, I don't know if Dallas won yesterday or not.
That one I didn't check
I don't.
out.
But
they were winning when I last checked, but
was it the Eagles they played or?
Yeah,
No, that was the
Washington.
The Giants and the Eagles.
Dallas score.
The Redskins. I said it.
They're coming back. They're getting sued. And that name's coming back.
Dallas lost.
All the teams should bring their names back.
Well, I don't think the Indians will.
They won't because they're pussies.
The thing with the Redskins, though, is that name was given to them by an Indian tribe.
Right.
The Blackfoot Indians in that area. That was the tribe that my great-grandmother belonged to. She was not Indian, but she did belong to the Potomac area Blackfoot, which is the people that gave, because all my family's from D.C., gave the Redskins that name and that picture. That was an actual picture of one of their chiefs. And it was all done out of respect, and it was all done in honor of that guy who they revered. And then a couple of Wokians came in and made people feel bad about having Redskins on their name. And that was what they wanted to be called. They wanted that name. They wanted that picture put on that helmet. And somebody came in and shit all over it and ruined it. So it's coming back, though. Because the Potomac area Blackfoot are suing the Washington Commanders to get that name back. And I hope they win. I hope they fucking drive them into the ground and teach them a lesson. Go woke, go broke. But the Browns got their asses kicked 35-10 by the Ravens. Ravens are in the playoffs. They are the number 5 seed, and they'll be playing the number 8 seed, 7 seed, whatever it was, Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card game next Saturday. I think it's the 8 o'clock game.
On Saturday?
Yep. Playoffs. Chargers and the Texans. They'll be playing at the early game on Saturday. Sundays, the Broncos and the Bills, and the Packers and the Eagles. Do you follow the Eagles there since you live out there, or are you still a Cowboys girl?
I don't like the Eagles, but I watch it because that's Patrick's second team. So
Who's his first team?
even though we're in the Philadelphia area, we root for. He likes the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're terrible. I hope they get better because I like the Raiders too, but they're terrible right now. They have no identity. They got fucking
But
handled by the Chargers yesterday.
I've been watching the college football. I like college football better than I do NFL.
Well, we are down to the Final Four in the CFL.
Yes, we are.
Penn State is going to
We are.
play Notre Dame.
I'm hoping they win.
And the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to play the Texas Longhorns. So that's your Final Four.
Penn State is my alumni, so.
We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be Ohio State and Penn State. And I already told you. I told you the other day that that's the only team I don't want to play. I don't want the Buckeyes to play with Penn State again. It's hard to beat a team twice in a year.
True.
Ask Oregon when they played the Buckeyes last week. Didn't work out so well for them. Best team in the country. Got their asses whooped.
They did.
The Buckeyes are on a mission. But if they play Penn State, they're going to lose. I'm calling it right now.
We got a couple
If Ohio State gets past Texas, Penn State will get past Notre Dame. They're going to kick the shit out of Notre Dame.
We got a couple of guys from our local school here where
Mhm.
my kids went. They are on the Penn State team.
Cool.
I think we got 3 of them on the football. Yeah.
Starters?
Yep.
Nice.
Starters.
Nice. Well, I mean, your school does recruit and cheat, so.
Shut up. We do not cheat.
Doesn't surprise. They probably have people in the NFL too.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We at least
See?
we did. Like Michael Monet, I don't know if he's playing for the NFL anymore. He did for like a year. He played for Penn State and then he went into I forget who he played. I would have to check. But we also had a kicker on the Jets from our school. Acker was his last name. This was like years ago. Acker played for the Jets. Yep. He's from our area. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Taylor Swift, she's in the NFL. She's from your area.
And she is from my area.
And she is in the NFL.
I met her and she used to go to she went to our church when she was really little. So I known her from there. And then I haven't seen her in years.
She's in the Church of Satan? I didn't know that. I had no clue. I knew you were, but I wasn't sure about her.
We used to actually, my parents used to buy the Christmas trees off their tree farm as well.
So she comes from money to begin with.
Yes.
Shocking.
Yeah, the Wyomissing area, basically, they say when you look at Wiki that she lives like in West Reading or so, it's actually considered Wyomissing where she lived, and that is a Vichira section of our county. So, yeah.
Going backwards on my thing. Whoops. Trying to get the scores.
So did any states get dumped on like they said they were going? Kansas
for sure.
did.
That's the last I saw when I went to bed. They were getting hammered. And they were having problems with the ice. That's what I was wondering, if the ice storm was going to come through, but it did not.
Well,
no, it said that I watched one on YouTube, a weather channel on there, that they said that it was all going to stay lower in the U.S. Come just below Ohio, the ice.
Those southern storms, when they come north, we get hammered.
Yeah.
Our area. The storms that come from the north that are traditionally bad storms, we never get shit from them. It's like we're the tail end of it. We might get a couple inches of snow, that shit that dumps like 2 and 3 feet on Cleveland and Buffalo and all that.
Yeah, they call it northeastern storms.
Nor'easters, yes. We don't get shit from them. But the ones that come from the south, that's when they're bad. And I don't know why, just where we're at, I guess. We're that tween line. But those southern storms, when they hit us, man, they fucking dump a foot of snow on us. And for our area, that's a lot. We're not, we're not in the snow belt where they're used to getting 24 to 36 inches of snow in a storm.
We used to be that way. Like back in the 90s, we would get up to 3 to 4 feet of snow within not
You guys are
within a
pretty
day.
close to the snow belt. So, plus you're not far from the ocean, so you're gonna get.
No, we're the closest shoreline it would take us about 2 hours. If that.
Yeah, it's not that far. You're close enough that it'll affect your weather pattern.
And it'd be Jersey. New Jersey.
Jersey. Not Maryland.
That's about a 4-hour trip.
Is it?
If you're going to
Ocean
Ocean
City?
City, Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to.
Yep.
How the hell did I get that far gone? I'm on like week 10. I'm going scrolling the wrong damn way. That's what happened. Trying to keep the scores up. The Super Bowl to be determined. I forwarded a little too far.
Did they say who's singing at the Super Bowl yet?
I haven't heard anything. I think they always know ahead of time, but
I'm just curious.
it won't be Beyonce because they used her
The
in a
last
regular
couple of
game.
performances for the Super Bowl, I did not care
no.
for.
There hasn't been a good one since Prince. Sorry.
So.
And that's been a while ago.
They need to bring Diddy out of prison and let him perform.
Just cover the whole field in baby oil. Let's see what happens. You never. Let's get diddied. He's going to become a verb.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It's already starting.
I was just going to say, it's already starting.
There's this move you can do on Call of Duty where you can grab a guy and use him as a shield, but it looks like you're humping him from the back, like doing sex stuff to him. And the kids online are calling it diddying. You're diddying the guy when you grab him. So it's already begun.
All right. Well, I looked it up, and it says 2025 Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar will headline the halftime show.
Oh, there you go. I don't even know who that is.
I don't either. That's how far out I am with music.
Why can't they go like old rock, old classic shit?
Because
like,
that's not it in
the
now.
old time. Yes, it is.
They're
For
trying,
us, but the younger groups
The old
don't.
timers back in.
They're trying to get the Generation Z involved, re-involved. They lost them, and they don't realize why. Every generation that comes along rejects the generation before it. That's just the way it is. And the millennials were all about all this woke shit and all this rap shit, and it's going to die because Generation Z says, fuck you, we don't want to listen to that. We like outlaw country and redneck stuff, and it's changing. Sorry. And the NFL better get the fuck with it or they're going to lose. They think they're seducing these young kids into like with these halftime shows, and they're losing them because of their halftime shows.
Right.
And dumb shit like that. They'll figure it out, but it'll be too late.
You know how like we're like Gen X, and then you have like you were saying, well, the 2024 was the last of the
Gen
category.
A's.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't realize that, and I was like,
Yep.
oh shit.
Yep.
What's the new name?
Betas.
Betas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Baby J is the last of the Generation A alphas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was at the tail end too. No, I wasn't. I was at the very beginning of the Gen Xers. 65 is when they called that. So a couple years ahead of me.
65?
65 to 80, I think. Something like that.
Weren't you be a baby boomer or no?
Not
No, you wouldn't be a baby boomer.
We're Gen X.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
68.
Huh. Gen X. How would you put that, Gen X? I'm trying to search it.
X?
Is Starbucks the one from Australia?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's she think about that break
Oh,
dancer?
65 to 80. There you go. So yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. When did that happen? Was that in the Summer Olympics?
What's that?
Yes,
With
it was in the
break
summer.
dancer?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about that till just this
Rachel
week.
Ray Gunn. Yes, Starbucks. I always forget. Thank you for reminding me, Bonzo. I always forget to ask you guys that. You, my Australian friends over there. What was there any controversy to all that controversy about Rachel Gunn and the whole breakdancing thing in the Summer Olympics?
She's not too far behind.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick one. So her lag ain't so laggy today.
No.
But if you guys aren't in text, you're missing out on her explanations of mate and matey and how matey is sometimes sarcastic for like, you're a dickhead. Or you're not my mate or dickhead. Oh, she said it's also used to greet kids. Little matey.
Really?
Yeah, little matey. Well, that's, we have, weird names for kids. Like the old, where you're talking about boomers, they always, hey, champ. That was a boomer one.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know anybody called little kids champ
No.
from your dad's generation?
No.
Surprised.
Wasn't there a movie called Champ that had the little kid in it?
Yeah, but he wasn't the champ.
Right, but
yeah, there was multiple ones, but our generation had the
I
Ricky
thought he
Schroeder.
did call him that though.
Maybe. I never saw it because it was sad. Ricky Schroeder, I did watch Silver Spoons, but
I liked that show.
After Silver Spoons, I didn't care for Rick Schroeder. Like, come on, dude. Him and Donnie Most did it too. I'm Don Most. No, you're not. You're Donnie Most from fucking Happy Days. Fucking knock it off. If I made all that money from Happy Days and then I went on, I'm like, I want to be called Don now. No, you don't. Because nobody's interested in Don Most. They want to talk to Donnie Most from Happy Days and being Ralph Mouth. You go with what got you there, man. That's why nobody knows who the fuck I'm talking about right now. Because there's shit like that. So she hasn't answered yet if there was any controversy with that Rachel Ray gun, but I am telling you, man, TikTok and Instagram Reels, they got some mileage out of that shit.
I guess that's why I don't know all this up-to-date shit, because I don't ever watch any of that, and that's pretty much where everybody gets their information now.
Yeah, it's completely true. I get my news from X, the old Twitter. It's accurate. They've got there's a system in place.
Though. Yeah, depends who you follow.
Well, no, there's a system in place called community notes. When people lie to you, the community notes comes in and lets you know.
Oh, really? See,
yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah, it's all new. They got rid of that shit where people can lie to you and.
Good.
Aussies must be laid back compared to United States, the Americans, because
we would have fucking hung that bitch.
We would have, we would have ate her up for embarrassing us.
Not only that, just how, like I said, there was a whole controversy about how she got herself into the Olympics. That was, they would have chewed her up and spit her out.
Oh my God.
It just wouldn't fly. They are somewhat, I don't know. I don't really know. They appear, let me put it to you this way. They appear to be more laid back people than we are. I don't really know for sure because I've never been there, never interacted with anybody in person from Australia. I'm going to before I die. Once all this bullshit settles down, we can fly again and feel safe. Because I ain't flying right now, if I can tell you that.
It's on your bucket list, huh?
Yeah. Australia, Greece, those kind of places. History. I like history. I do.
Yeah, I want to go to Italy before I die.
It's right across the river from Greece. Yeah.
Yep.
The Mediterranean, but yeah, that whole area, Rome, Greece with the Parthenon, all that stuff. I just want to see it all. I'd like to go to Egypt too, however. Barkley says we have dead air. I don't know. Did the internet die? I'll tell her to reset it. We shouldn't have dead air. Everyone still listening to us in chat. Yeah, we're still going. I hope we're not dead.
Oh, hold on, I'll go. I can't tell neither. And test it.
Yeah,
No, we're
Starbucks.
not.
She
No,
says
we got
we're.
it.
She says we're still on.
She's probably got to reboot.
Yeah, that's because she doesn't use the app. She uses our website. I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Shouldn't be any problem with any of them because it goes right into Zeno. That's all it is this the Zeno app.
Right.
It's a link posted you can click play on for our website. So I don't know. But yeah. So we'll see how the weather works out this week. I don't know. Is there supposed to be anything else coming through?
I don't know.
Rumor has it we're supposed to be getting blizzards this weekend coming up.
Another one? Or an actual one?
An actual one. A nor'eastern.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
The nor'easters. Ain't got nothing to do with Easter.
Nor'eastern.
I can't find my weather app, but
Doesn't say we're
Trying
getting
to get
anything this week. Maybe Monday they're calling for.
Well, whatever you guys get, we get the day after.
yeah. Well,
Even your
Monday,
even your
Tuesday of
thunderstorms.
next week. But that could change.
yeah. Well, it friggin' changed so much over the weekend. They're like, hey, it's coming. The giant dildo of ice. That thing was shaped like a wiener. You know that storm?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And people were making fun of it on the reels on TikTok and stuff. It's kind of funny. They're like, oh, you're going to get it hard. This ice storm's really going to put it to you. And they're like showing that dick move across country. I thought it was funny. And it was pink. I'm checking through my other apps, making sure nobody's talking to me while I'm trying to do my show. And no, they're not. Poor Christina from Finland. She always has such trouble logging on. She's awake at this time. Because it's in the evening, late at night, like Starbucks. And every time she tries to log on, it never works. I send her the link right from WBMradio.com and I know. That's what I said. We got a new
bubbles.
we got a new promo. You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
Let me just see if I can get this to work. Let me change this first. It may sound echoey right at first, but just bear with me. See what that does. Yeah, echoey. And see if it's that's the one I need on. That ain't it.
Don't hear it.
Well, that was a failed experiment. I swear to God, I just downloaded that stupid thing.
So should I jump in that rabbit hole and go to TikTok or just say
No, go ahead.
That's weird. I pulled up my Play Store, and the first app that came up was TikTok.
Yeah.
Do you have TikTok?
I don't have TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I might download it though.
I don't have TikTok. I get everything off Instagram. It's the same thing.
Actually, tell you the truth, the video promos that I do for are off of from TikTok, an app that's affiliated with TikTok.
Yeah.
That's where I do all my promo stuff.
You'll never be back if you go down that rabbit hole. But
that's what
don't you have
afraid
Instagram?
Of. I think I signed up one time, but I never.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Facebook affiliated, so you're already getting that. It's the same thing as watching the videos on Facebook.
Oh, is it the reels on Facebook?
Yeah, but they're just a little more accessible on the Instagram app. You just click over to the videos, and boom, you're right there. Yep, sorry. I'm doing it as I'm saying it. But yeah, you should. I don't know how to save the shit. Like, I don't know if Instagram lets you save it the way TikTok does.
I thought Instagram, one of those, I don't remember which one it was. It might have been a different app, but I remember um I talked to some younger kids my son's age a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and they said there was this one app that you can post like, pics, nude pics and stuff, and they delete like after 30 seconds or
Oh,
something like
that's Snapchat.
Snapchat?
Yeah.
that. Yeah, maybe that's it. Is that still a thing or not?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
But here's what they don't know is they don't really go away.
Yeah, I didn't figure they would.
Snapchat still has them. And if you're underage and you post that shit on Snapchat, they'll come after you. There's cases where they have charged kids with child porn because they posted naked pictures of themselves.
Yeah.
Like, just leave these fucking kids alone. As long as they're not sending them to fucking creepy old men, leave them the fuck alone. God, they're charging them with that shit. Now, if you don't want that stuff to happen, then don't let kids on your fucking app. Problem solved.
Yeah, plus you can put it to parent control.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
But
let's just
most of
say,
these kids
let's
know
just
to get
say
around all that shit.
we had to do
I
that.
know there's ways, but the problem is if they make it harder for those kids to do that shit, like having an online ID or whatever, that shit's coming. It's coming. You're going to have an online thumbprint ID that says you're this age and that age. It's coming. It'll be here someday. They've already got the fingerprint technology and all that shit. It's coming. But yeah, it'll make it too hard and the apps will die. These kids use that shit, and they are the reason those apps are successful because they use the shit out of them. They keep the advertising rolling and the user numbers up. And as soon as you go I don't want to say ruining it because they shouldn't be posting pictures of themselves like that, but they shouldn't have but they're going to anyway. Even if it's fucking person to person. Teenagers are teenagers. People have been trying for, at least in the United States, for the entire time the United States has been a country, trying to stop teenagers from being teenagers. Like stop them from having sex and drinking and doing drugs. You're just not ever going to do it. I'm sorry. They're turning into little adult people and they're stretching their legs and they're going to try things and they're going to do things. And all you can do is raise your kid the best you can and hope that they fucking make the right decisions because they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do shit like that. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it.
We were down in Columbus and I forget what store we walked in. We went to that mall you told us to go. Well, that one you took us to that time.
Easton? Yeah.
And we went into a store. I can't remember what it was. My wife was looking for purses, and it seemed like like a teenage store or something.
Yeah.
And there was this worker and her young girl, and her hair was, I don't know, I think it was lime green, and her face was painted completely white, and she looked like a fucking clown or something. And her hair and her clothes was like, you know how Madonna used to dress in the fishnet shit,
Right,
and
yeah.
they were all tore, and it was like, oh my God. I was like, I told my wife, I was like, can you imagine what her parents are thinking? Like, what the fuck did we do wrong?
Well, I mean, if they're smart parents, they're like, just let her go.
It's a phase.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
phase.
Let her
I'm
go.
sure.
Don't
Yeah.
get too crazy about it.
But man, this girl, oh my God, I felt so sorry for her parents.
It's the overreaction that causes a problem.
I didn't do it. I just looked at her and I said, did you see that girl? I was like, yes.
Well, that's
How
the
could it,
reaction.
yeah.
She wants that reaction, right? I mean,
Yep.
she wants that reaction, of course. She put a lot of time and effort into that.
I should have
outfit
walked
and
up
that
to her and
makeup
said,
and that hair.
I should have walked up to her and said, man, you look hot.
No,
And then maybe
you
it
should-
would have changed her way. Some old creep was hitting on her. or something.
You're like, why so serious? That might have changed it too. You're like, you're really appealing to 45-year-old white men. But yeah, maybe that would change her ways, her trajectory at life. No. But yeah, Easton Mall has a lot of that. You'll see a lot of those girls, boys dressing like that around that area. It's a very
I'm sure
safe
some of the
space
parents
for
when
them.
we were growing up probably thought the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Why do they all got to grow hair and look like a fucking girl?
Yeah, got their ear pierced.
You fucking queers.
pussy.
That's what I had my ear double pierced, my left ear.
We were just talking about that, me and Minnie K, because she wants to get her ears pierced again because she had them like when she was like 5 or 6, and that was a very young age for her. Not my choice, but she got it done. So she said, I want to get them done again. I said, well, maybe you could try to get your, because sometimes if you take an earring and you poke through it,
Yeah, you can
sometimes
get back in.
get that reopened. She goes, I tried that. And I said, well, I have mine double pierced and I can still do the top ones and stuff like that. And I told her, I said, did you know Pat used to have his ears pierced? And she was like, what? And I said, yeah. I think he had like two or three of them, I believe, that he had. I said, did you know your pop had his ear pierced? And she goes, what? I said, yeah. My dad had his ear pierced when he was in his midlife crisis at probably 60. He got done at the age of 60. Yeah. Just like my mom's first tattoo was at the age of 60. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you get through life at a certain point and you're like, that shit's just not that important. Do what you like. What other people think is just not that important. But yeah, I mean, it was the older guys were pretty hard on you back then when you got your ears pierced in the 80s. I remember all I did was shave the side of my head. I had both sides of my head shaved. It wasn't a mohawk. It wasn't high enough to be a mohawk, but it was, it was above my ears. It was like what I was talking about earlier about generation. This generation is the anti of that generation. Well, the generation before us, the end of the boomers were into the lamb chop fucking sideburns. Remember those where they had the fucking big giant sideburns all the way down?
Yep.
Well, we were the opposite. We shaved all the way up and above our ears. It was the opposite of sideburns because that's just what you do. It was a rejection of the generation before you, when they drove the old Dodge cars and had their pearl snaps buttoned down to their chest, which is cool again now. The pearl snaps are making their way back. But yeah, and I remember the guys on the dock because I worked at Goshen Dairy on the dock loading trucks. And they're like, oh, he's a punk rocker. I'm like, I don't listen to punk. I listen to AC/DC, man. Punk rocker. Got his head shaved. I'm like, what? It's just barely above my ears. But, queer got his ear pierced. That's just how it was. They were harder, I don't know. We don't really do that to the generation behind us, do we?
What, make fun of them?
Yeah, I guess we do. They're the millennials, so we do make fun of them. Yeah, we do.
I don't know. My son.
We do.
My
We
son
used to make fun of your son all the time.
Oh, yeah. Those fucking Jinkos.
Well, my son just had a mullet not too long ago. I'm thinking, what
Yeah,
the
they're
hell
back.
are you doing? Like,
They're back.
what are you? Well, now he had to get cut because he's got a new job. So he's like, he has to look professional.
The extra ear piercings are coming back. The mullets are coming back. The Oakleys are back. The only thing they're missing is a fucking big old chew of Copenhagen, the hat backwards on a dirt bike. I mean, that's the last of the redneck shit. And I'm sure it's coming back too, but now they're like e-dirt bikes. Which
that and the brown work boots, the tan, whatever those were.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Call them shit kickers.
Yeah, they're back. I kind of never. Well, I quit wearing them only because I switched to cowboy boots for work. Otherwise, I'd still be wearing the tan.
That was a 90s trend for us, was the shit kickers.
Yeah. Well, in the early 90s, it was the Doc Martens. The Doc Martens became popular again because they were popular from before. Faded, came back, faded. Now they're coming back again too. I've seen people, they're starting to wear those, the old goth ones that people had that laced all the way up to your knee.
Yeah.
The real tall Doc Martens. Because it was just like the trendy Doc Martens were not the tall, Nazi looking goob stop, whatever, goob step fucking Docs. They were just like regular work boot style Docs. They just had the, the Doc Martin signature soles, which is what, set those apart from the other ones, was the real thick bottoms. And you could always tell a pair of Docs a mile away. They just had a look and the like ribbed for her pleasure sides on the soles. I was okay with the Doc Martin thing.
I had a pair, but they killed my feet, so I never went back to them.
And that was the big complaint. They weren't comfortable.
Right. But the in thing as well is Converse and Vans.
Yeah, I still wear Vans.
Yeah. My
Never
daughter,
liked them. Never wore them.
I was surprised she came home. Her dad bought her a pair of Converse high tops. And I'm thinking,
I still have Chuck Taylors, but I tried them on. I tried to wear them again. They're uncomfortable as fuck, dude. They fucking killed my feet. I couldn't do it.
There's no cushion on the bottom.
Nothing.
There's no cushion.
The Vans are pretty bad too, but they're slip-on,
Yeah.
so I don't mind.
And she wears
Yes, the
Crocs,
yellow
so I'm
stitching.
thinking, she wears Crocs like day in and day out. I said, this is not good for your back. They don't give you the support that you.
Barkley
I
just
can't
got a
walk
pair of Crocs for Christmas for herself, but they're slippers, so they don't even have holes in them. They're just shaped like Crocs with
I
fur
remember-
on
Oh,
them.
really?
Yeah.
I remember when the wrestling shoes were big, even if you
Yeah.
weren't wrestlers, they wore them.
I wore.
That like the soccer shoes as well. We had Adidas.
If it was a
soccer
fucking,
shoes.
if it was a geeky trend, you can almost bet I was in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did wrestle, so I owned wrestling shoes. That was the only reason I had them. But yeah, I remember wearing them around like regular shoes. My pony wrestling shoes.
Oh, I forgot that brand. Holy shit.
Yeah, they were ponies.
Pony.
They
I
were,
think
that
back
was
in the
What was
80s.
the
Mhm.
logo look like?
it
Wasn't
was
it a
it was
V or
supposed,
something?
it was like a check mark, but it
A
wasn't a
check-
full check mark. It was kind of like an open check mark. So it was kind of like a swoosh. It would go down and then up,
Yeah, kind of like a V. but
kind of
not-
like a V,
yeah.
but not. Yeah, it was a rip off of the Nike swoosh, but it was
Do you
without the swooshy part.
Do you remember the 80s, the kangaroos?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Yeah, I
remember,
Kangaroos
remember
those.
those. Yeah.
Where they had the pocket, I think it was on the side and also on the tongue of the
Yeah.
the sneaker that you could put like money
I never
in.
owned
had-
any of them, but yeah.
I did. I had kangaroos and penny loafers. Penny loafers were in back in the 80s.
Yeah. We the ones what were those deck shoes, boat shoes? We called them boat shoes.
They were brown and you put a penny in the middle of your
Yep.
Penny loafers.
Yeah, penny loafers. And Dr. Scholl's.
We held those
Sandals.
ones that only had like two eyelets. They're boat shoes. They were leather, had the
Yeah.
work shoe kind of bottom on them. They were terrible. But they were popular. I never I say that I probably got it. I at least tried to get in on those geeky trends. I remember I never owned a Swatch,
Oh, I have
but dudes did. It wasn't
I have 3
only
of 'em.
girls, but mostly girls had Swatches.
I still have mine. And the guards that go with them. I
The
have
little
all
rubber
that, yeah.
thing, yeah.
Mhm.
That was huge. And tying the sweater around your neck over your shoulders, that was a preppy.
Ah, I never did that.
Yeah, I didn't
Never
do that,
did
but-
it.
I did wear sweaters occasionally, but
I did too once in a while.
But I didn't. I never tied it. I never did the eyes odd thing. My brother did. Mike did. He did the
Of course
sweater.
he did.
Of course.
He had the sweater over the shoulder kind of thing, and the Farrah Fawcett hair. He feathers hair. I remember trying to feather my hair, but I had an afro, so as soon as it dried, it was gone. It was just a puffball.
Mike's hair was more like who sang the Ghostbuster song? What the hell was his name?
Ray Parker?
Jr.
Yeah, his hair looked like Ray Parker Jr.'s hair.
Whose did?
Mike's.
My brother?
Was Jerry
Yeah,
Costa?
wasn't his curled all?
No, that was mine.
I remember a picture. It looked just like Ray
well,
Parker.
okay. I see. It was when he was older. That was after high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, after when he was into the later 80s. Yeah, he did that. Yeah, you're not
It
wrong.
was like short on the side and
Yeah.
real curly. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Who you gonna call?
Eddie wore those pants too, so
Mm.
the hammer pants.
Hammer pants. I can't make fun. I had parachute pants.
That's the
I
same
had parachute
thing. yeah.
pants myself, yeah.
Well, the original parachute pants were just zippers,
Yes.
and then they puffed out Eventually, they
Mine
got
weren't
puffy.
puffed out. They were just that parachute material, and they
Yeah.
had the zippers all over them.
Yeah, zippers was the parachute pants. So the MC
Which
Hammers
I
were
never
the-
got because parachutes don't have zippers in them. So
yeah. I don't know why they called them that. I think it's because it looked like
The
what,
material.
the
paratroopers.
material was like parachute. Yeah.
Well, I think the
material.
zippers came from the paratroopers having zippers all over their coveralls that they jumped in. So they have shit shoved in their pockets and zipped up. I think that's where the zippers came from. Why that was part of that, but ended up being, I don't know. That was a Michael Jackson thing, right? Didn't he wear
I
those
don't
with
think-
the zippers?
I don't. Yeah, he had the zippers on his jacket
Yeah.
and stuff, and on his pants. It matched. They both matched. The red outfit, and I think he had a black outfit that way too.
Friendship pins. That rings a bell, but I'm not. Is that
Friendship, what?
pins?
Pins?
Deb and Chad asked, do you
Oh,
guys
yeah, the
remember
friendship
friendship
pins.
pins you made to
Yes.
put on your Nike sneakers?
Yes, what you did was
Oh,
you
it's
got
like
a
a bobby
safety
pin.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
with
No,
little
you get-
beads. Yeah.
Yeah, safety
yeah.
pin, and then you get these little beads. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That was a
I never.
girl
that
thing.
was girl thing.
Yeah, that was a girl thing for sure. But
I had tons of that shit.
tell them what the dude thing was, Coney. You know what it was.
What dude thing?
The dude thing that was similar to the friendship pins, but you
I
didn't
don't
do it.
remember.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
remember.
yeah. It was the Jack Daniels pins and the fucking weed pin.
Oh,
the
the rock band pins.
yeah that you put on
Yeah.
your jean jacket.
Yeah.
That was the closest thing we had to friendship pins. We didn't do that.
But we
shit.
didn't buy them and give them to each other.
No, but
We-
your
that's-
girlfriend would take them, right? And she would, at least the girls I dated did. They would take your pins and put them on their jacket, their nicer jacket.
yeah.
I don't know if that was.
I
the
didn't.
thing.
Well,
I
you
didn't
didn't-
give.
you-
I didn't
did you-
give my pins up. Fuck that.
Did you guys do like that sexual trend when you take the tab off the soda?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you
Yeah.
get it without a ring, if you can get it without busting it, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. I got beat pretty good at it, but I never got anything out of it.
No,
Mine never worked.
that's like the sex pin and bowling. That never worked either.
Yeah, it never works. Terrible. It's bullshit.
That should be a law. It has to work.
It's our own version of Sharia law. If I got the circle, you got to do it. You don't have a choice.
Nope.
Yeah, there was. Oh, yeah. I liked the jean jackets. I thought they were going to come back, and they never did. They still.
I don't
might
know if I
someday,
still
but-
have mine or not.
I have a couple of them, but
Mine was pretty wore out. I don't know if my wife.
I would never be able to fit into my old ones. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to either.
There's zero chance of that. I was wearing schmediums back then. The
Mine
best
was
I could do
probably a
now is an
large.
extra large. But now the ones I have now, since I lost weight, are fucking too big. So I have to fucking go back to the drawing board again. The drawing board. But I had a bunch of patches and I had a bunch of pins. I never did get them sewed on. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I was waiting. We'll see what my daughter's into when she gets older. If she can keep dad in fashion. That's what girls are good for.
No, I'm pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
You guys
It's
are getting what we
snowing-
had last
it's
night.
Snowing a little bit here, but not much. Just
I'm in the
like-
basement. I can't see shit. It was
Drama.
blowing around when I got up, but it was
Just
still kind of
light.
dark. So
There's some big flakes, but it's like real slow.
I like the big. I prefer the big flakes. That's usually
Dude, one of my
sledding.
fondest memories as a kid, I was up at my grandparents'. I usually stayed up there over the weekends and stuff, or over the holiday breaks. And it must have been around Christmas time. And it was dark out, and we got a ton of snow. And me and a couple of the kids in the neighborhood, we were out, and we were just playing in the streets and stuff. There was no traffic. Nobody was out. It was peaceful. And the snow was falling into the street lights, and it just felt so peaceful. It was amazing. And that memory, I can remember that like I was there yesterday. It just hit me. I don't know why.
Because you're looking at.
But huh?
Because you're looking at the snow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I have a similar memory. I remember it. It was like, I remember school being canceled, and I was staying at my grandparents' house. It was dark, really, really dark out because it snowed and everything was like covered. And I felt his hand go down my pants. And then I looked up. There was my grandpa. Yeah, I never knew my grandpa. Just kidding. Psych. No.
Yeah, we were discussing how much snow we got back in the day when we went to school. And I said, no, where I lived, it was kind of like, I don't know how you would put it. It wasn't like kind of like a condo kind of deal, a townhouse. There you go.
Townhouse.
So
yeah.
the third level of the basement, we had these sliding glass doors. So with this big snowfall that we had, you couldn't even get out of it because that's how high the snow was. And we had a little dog at the time. We had a Chihuahua. So it was like, where the hell do you take? We had to actually like break a path just for the dog to go to the bathroom.
Digger a tunnel.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
So
get her litter box.
That was about 4 feet of snow right there within a day. I remember being off of school for a whole week because of that.
The last time I remember a big storm like that would have been, I think Alex would have been 5th or 6th grade. So 20 years ago, would have been 2000, early 2000s. And it was in January while they were on Christmas break, and it rained. It was raining. And then that night, in the middle of the rain, the fucking temperature dropped below 0.
Ooh.
And everything froze. I don't know if you remember that or not. Bonzo.
Yeah, I remember.
There was like 2 inches of ice solid on the roads, all over the cars, all over. No one moved. They canceled school for 2 weeks. They couldn't get the ice melted because it stayed cold forever.
I remember. I lost power for, I think, 3 days, 2 or 3 days.
That was the last bad one I can remember.
I can remember the electric lines just popping. And
well, they had so much weight on them. It was just snapping. Yeah. The weight of all that ice. Because it was weird. It was just a weird storm that it was.
The trees were all breaking because the ice was covered in them.
Yep. It was crazy. There was a lot of damage from that storm.
I'd rather have snow than ice.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And that's what they were calling with that ice storm this weekend. I was kind of worried, but then I was like, shit almost never happens. It almost never happens. Sucks when it does, but we're fairly prepared. Plenty of food. Got the generator going.
I remember the
Firewood.
real deep snow that we had back in, what was that, 87 or?
That's probably when we were talking about. It's like 86.
Yeah, somewhere on there.
Yeah, we had a deep snow. 78 was the worst.
I remember because I had an 82 Camaro.
You ain't going nowhere in a Camaro.
I couldn't get out of anywhere.
You ain't going nowhere in a Camaro.
I was at my girlfriend's house and I couldn't get home because my Camaro wouldn't go anywhere. It was buried.
Yeah, you're not going. Even if it wasn't buried, Camaros don't go in the snow.
Nope.
They're low to the ground. They have power and rear wheel drive and blah, blah, blah. And you ain't going nowhere. Cool in the summertime, though.
Yep. T-tops out.
Yeah. 82, that was the
Berlinetta. I had the Berlinetta Camaro.
So that was the newer body style.
Yeah.
It had just switched in 82, didn't it?
Yep. I think that's the year it switched.
I had an 83 when I was an adult, not when I was a kid.
Right.
It had the high output 305 in it.
I don't remember what a mine had it. It had a V8, but
3-speed.
Mine wasn't a 3. I don't think mine was a stick. I think it was automatic.
In 82, it had the 305. That's
305.
Yeah. They didn't hardly put a 350 in anything back then. They were switching over, trying to become more fuel efficient. Because all the Monte Carlos I had, the early 80 Monte Carlos, I had a handful of them. They're all 305s. It was a decent motor. But yeah. And on a Camaro, that's plenty of power.
Yeah.
Well, they're like 150 horsepower. Which in today's horsepower rating, so they did change it, would be like 250, but it's not the same. They don't measure it the same for some reason. or maybe they measured back then. They measured them at the wheel, or they changed something how they advertise it. They didn't actually change how it's measured. Like they call these 300 horsepower cars, and they're not. Like back in the 80s, the way they measured it then, it wouldn't have been 300 horsepower. I don't know if that makes sense, but and it's boring. Nobody cares about your horsepower. But we started talking about electric cars. Now it was actually electric motorcycles I was talking about, because that's what these kids are into now.
Oh yeah, them things are haul ass too.
They do. And I'll give credit where credit is due. The RPMs that you can achieve with an electric motor over a gas motor, it's not even close. Not even close. So on things like dirt bikes and that, it's the fucking way to go if you want speed. Yeah. I don't like electric cars. I don't know why. It's unappealing to me. The fact that they're quiet and all that shit. And, I listen to Rogan all the time, and he loves his Tesla. He said it's like one of the best cars he's ever owned. He's like, they're fun to drive. He's like, all the technology works great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, they don't appeal to me.
They'd be nice for like around, just around the town and stuff. But going on distant trips, that would suck, I would think. Having to stop somewhere and charge your car for however many hours it takes.
Yeah, it's like 90 minutes minimum.
Yeah, that's crazy. You don't stop at a gas station and spend 90 minutes at a gas station.
You don't. And now,
you're there maybe 10 minutes.
If you could get 10 hours out of it.
Yeah.
And then stop and like overnight charge while you're at a hotel or something, maybe. But I don't even think it works that well.
No, it don't.
I don't own one, so I don't really know, and I probably never will. If they want to go green, and this is the whole drive for that, right? I mean, we're assuming that the whole push for these cars was to reduce emissions, which I have a theory that that's a mistake. But why don't they go with hydrogen?
They talked about it, but never.
The problem is producing hydrogen. But look what they got to do to produce the fucking batteries for these cars.
Yeah.
So get the fuck out of my face.
Go after they're done using them.
Hydrogen is the same motor you use for your car now, except for the only thing that comes out of the tailpipe is oxygen and water.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So knock it off, Elon Musk. Put some money in it. Fucking hydrogen. Figure out how to produce hydrogen cheaper.
It's because they can't make money off of hydrogen.
Because they can't figure out how to manufacture it.
Right.
Once they learn how to manufacture it and be able to sell it and make it, it'll change things.
It's about the money.
It is about the
almighty dollar.
Of course.
They can't make money off of it. Forget it. They ain't gonna put any money into figuring out
But they're gonna learn. Technology. They're gonna learn quick, man. The battery technology the way it is right now is not gonna hold. They can't keep having these cobalt mines the way they are. These people out there digging with fucking hand shovels. These cobalt mines in Africa. It's just disgusting what they do to these people. And there's supposed to be all these treaties and all these laws these people have that, like, the people that buy the cobalt, they're like, we won't buy it if you're using slave labor or human hand labor. But then they do it anyway because there's money in it. They don't really care. They care on the surface so they can say, oh, look, we signed this that says that we care if you if you do it. But then they buy it anyway, so they're liars. Liar, liar, pants on fire. So God damn it. And if you get a hydrogen car, you can still sound like a real car. I like that sound. I want to hear that. That's why I don't have any electric golf carts. I won't do it. There was one that they were going to ship up from Tennessee when they closed the dredge plant, but apparently they rented it out and they're keeping the fucking golf cart now, so I'm not getting it. That's another story for another day. I'm still mad about that. I didn't really want an electric golf cart, but I thought it'd be, well, at least this way I could tinker with them in case they all ever go electric, and maybe I'll know what I'm doing. Not that I know what I'm doing with the gas ones either, but at least, I know my way around them a little bit. There's some cool ones online right now I'm looking at. So much money. already got saved in my Amazon thing a remote control Power Wheels for baby Jay.
Yeah.
So they can drive it still, but you can also strap them into it and just drive them around with the remote control.
That's cool.
So I'm going to get her one of those here pretty soon. Once she's old enough to hold herself up, I'm going to start out. They got these little things called bumper cars. Have you seen those?
I don't
Yes.
think so.
They're little round things. They're shaped like the old walkers, the old baby walkers. They're kind of shaped like that.
Oh, yeah, I think I do.
But the kids can drive them. They got little handles on them, like skid steer handles. But they make remote control ones of those too.
They do.
Yeah, and they're really not that expensive. I'm like $150. That's not terrible.
I almost got the little man one. I'm thinking they're gonna kill me if I can.
You should.
So
You should get the RC one so you can drive him around. That's entertainment. They would love the fuck out of that. Because kids, they like to look at stuff. That's why they like TV, because it flickers and it's constantly moving and there's all kinds of shit to see. She's 2 months old? Not quite. Yeah, she's 2 months old. A little over 2 months old.
Yeah, well,
And,
he's got a birthday coming up in March. It'll be 1 already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they're having a big party for him. So maybe we'll see.
That's the perfect time to get one of those things.
Yeah.
1 year old. How do you say it? 1 year old or 1 years old?
1 year old.
1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
I like 1 year's better. sounds a little rednecky, but got my hearing aids in, so I guess I got to sound like a redneck.
Yeah. The bionic redneck.
Yeah, I called her on the phone the other day.
That was funny.
And it plays through my hearing aids. She said I sounded more rednecky in them.
I said, "You sound funny." He goes, "I don't know. It's going through my hearing aids." And I said, I'm not trying to be rude. I said, "But you sound really rednecky." And I don't know how to say it. So I was like,
That's because I is.
That's because
it's the way he said pocket. Like, it was weird. I don't know. It's just weird how you talk it. I couldn't even do it. But I'm thinking, who the fuck is talking? Like, it didn't even sound like you.
I don't know. Well, when I listen to you guys on them, it sounds like that too. It's very mechanical. That's the only word I can think of to describe how it sounds. Mechanical. It has a robot-y kind of sound.
Yeah, so I was calling you the folks. I call you the bionic redneck.
There's something like that, yeah. No. If you were a bionic woman, what would you want? What body parts would you want to have be bionic?
My tatas.
You only get 2 picks.
My tatas.
Your bionic titties. No. What?
No, I don't know.
They would just defy gravity forever.
Oh,
is that what you're saying?
That would be nice.
Who knows? What about you, Bonzo? What would you pick? You get 2 limbs.
My middle leg.
Your penis.
So it'd be your wiener and your right hand. Both
yeah, there you go.
No. I can't do the sound, but I can't do it. We need to look that sound up so we can play it.
Yeah.
It was only a couple of years ago when I learned that the Bigfoot from the Bionic Man show from the $6 million Man. Yeah, I didn't know it was Andre the Giant at the time. And I watched wrestling back then.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know it. I don't know if I didn't read the credits or whatever, but that was like one of my favorite episodes of the Bionic Man, $6 million Man. Yeah. The only part that I didn't like was when he was in that tunnel and it made him dizzy because it made me kind of dizzy.
I was just started watching that again. It's not as good as I remember.
No, it's terrible. And you really want to see a stinker? Watch the Bionic Woman.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible. But it was cool back then. People could run 60 miles an hour and jump over walls. That was pretty badass. Jamie, I thought she was so hot. She's like, oh my God, she's so pretty. Lindsay Wagner. She didn't stay hot very long. She didn't do anything after that. A couple of movies and that was it.
Farrah was my go-to. Charlie's Angels.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everybody had the Farrah poster back then. If you didn't, you knew somebody who did.
I had it slapped right on the wall, right above my bed.
It was just like that fucking furniture that had the wooden ends on it, you know. Had that weird like farm scene.
Yep.
on the upholstery. Everybody either had it or knew somebody who had it.
It's on my wall right there.
Yep. Yeah, I can see Farrah. It's right behind your head.
Yep.
You block it out. You need to move her.
I think it's a beach towel or something that's hanging up there. It's in the background.
You need to move Screaming for
there.
Vengeance over there.
Oh.
And move that where Screaming for Vengeance is. I like Judas Priest and all, but come on, man. Put Farrah out where we can see her. You know, I look at yours, and I've never seen The Godfather.
Oh my God, that's a great movie.
That is a good movie.
I've never seen any of them.
1 and 2's the
Wow.
best.
Screaming for Vengeance was a great album. Deborah says. I agree. Qbert. I never really understood that game.
I couldn't get into it.
Me
I just
neither.
put the video games up there because that was our generation.
Defender was, I fucking played the shit out of Defender on Atari.
That, and I like Joust.
I never played Joust.
Oh, it was
Never
great.
got into it.
Used to play it at my mom used to work at I don't even know if I doubt if they're still around. Lawson's, do you remember them? They were like
I
little
remember the
convenient-
Lawsons having Joust. So it's the one on Tuscross Avenue.
Yeah, she used to work there.
Yeah. I remember Joust being there. But I couldn't get into it. I remember my friends, Bill and Tony Ayers, they played the shit out of it. But I couldn't figure out the whole egg dropping thing. And I don't know, it just wasn't appealing to me. Wasn't like Pac-Man. Pac-Man,
You jousted the other joust and they turned into an egg because you were flying on an ostrich.
Yeah.
Which was stupid, but it was. But then you would pick the eggs up so they wouldn't turn back into the.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Another jouster.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. Video games were hard back then.
They were.
There was no save button, especially on the arcade games because they weren't yours. They were just there to eat quarters. So you went until you failed and then you were done.
Dig Dug and Asteroids. I used to love those two.
Yes.
Dig Dug was cool. Dig Dug I got into. Asteroids was hard.
Centipede.
Centipede I liked. Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Jeff just sent a picture of his grandson in his Power Wheels, RC Power Wheels.
Oh.
Centipede was...
That was my wife's favorite.
Yeah, that one had the rolly ball, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The controller was a rolly ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never got into that one either.
Then they had speaking of like the roller ball, then you had Marble Madness. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it was a good game. It was a marble. You had to take down into a maze, but it was on like a 3D brick kind of deal, like these little.
Oh yeah, it was like
platforms.
yeah. I
Yeah, and
remember
with the
that.
rolling ball, it was hard. Yeah, it was hard.
That seems hard. And maybe I just like easier
Hubert
games.
just fucked with my eyes, the squares and shit. They kind of switched. You know how you get that optical illusion going? That's why I couldn't play it.
I just
Couldn't tell if you were upside down or right side up.
it fucked with me too, and I just never liked it. Punch Out, that one I got into.
Oh yeah.
I played, but only the Tyson version. I played the other one too, the video game version.
Do you remember the race car game? It was one of the very first ones that
Pole Position?
No, it wasn't that. It
Spy
was on
Hunter?
one of the consoles.
Well,
I
Atari
remember.
had one called Dodge 'em.
Maybe that's it. Does it have like you were in the dark and the headlights you could barely
No,
see
That
that
was
was
the road?
Spy
Spy
Hunter.
Hunter.
That
That
was
was my
Spy Hunter.
favorite too.
Yeah,
Yes.
Spy Hunter. Yeah. It was sort
I
of a
love
race
that
car
game.
game, but you shot
Mhm.
guns and dropped
Mhm.
bombs. And Spy Hunter, I liked. No, that one I played a lot. I was never good at it, but it was good.
And then
Shooting machine guns.
Pitfall.
Pitfalls, yeah,
Pitfall.
that was an addiction. I remember the first time I broke 100,000 on Atari Pitfall. I was like, it took me like an hour. I was just like, it felt like a major achievement to break 100,000 on it. I don't know. Learning the secret tunnels, remembering which ones were which,
Yep.
being disappointed because you got a silver bar instead of a gold. Like that was gold last time. Yeah. Atari had some great games. And I'll tell you what, man, combat was as good as any of them. If you wanted to play with two players, that was fun. But you would break the shit out of those controllers leaning on them, trying to get your plane to turn sharper. You know, it's a fucking button. You don't realize that, but you start leaning on them, and then pretty soon the rubber breaks, and you end up with the Atari controller with the joystick with just the white thing, or the black piece is gone because you fucking broke it. And then they had the paddles for games like you were talking about. And Kaboom was a good one.
I liked Kaboom as well.
Kaboom
Yeah.
was hard.
That's the clown that threw the ball, right?
No, that was
No,
Circus.
it's the bandit that threw the dropped the fireballs,
Right.
bombs.
Oh yeah.
But you're talking about the circus one.
Yeah, it was kind of like Dig Dug, but the clown threw the ball, and you hit stuff with it. I don't remember what it was called.
I don't remember that game at all.
I used to have all of them. I had over like 200 games in
Yeah?
shit. Yeah.
River Raid was
mom-
cool.
So my mom decided to sell it at a yard sale really cheap. But
I
I
was
was thinking,
just-
where'd the Atari
I was
system go?
I was just watching a video on like antique stuff that's worth a ton of money, and some
Yeah.
of them first games consoles are worth tons of money.
Yes.
Yeah, the most valuable Atari game now is that ET game that nobody liked.
I had
Yeah,
that
I
game.
remember that.
I
Because
had
they
that game.
burned them and buried them.
I could never figure it out.
Nobody could. That's why no one liked it. It was dumb.
Yeah. But I also liked,
Ouch.
I forget what system it was on. It was Top Gun, where you had to fly the jet fighter and you had to try to get it down to the ship, where they land and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I don't remember the game. I remember
Oh,
the
you don't
name.
remember Top
I don't
Gun?
remember the game.
My favorite one was actually the Goonies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It was actually, you had to go through like these buildings and stuff like that. You had to get to the right one. They gave you clues and then you had to go find it. But back like in the 80s, it was like real digital and stuff like that. But it took me about a year to figure it out. But I would love to play that game again. And I can, because on the Switch you can go back
Yeah?
and play all those yes, you can. You can go back and play all those platform games. Yep.
I'm looking. I'm trying to find. I bought a couple of those game stick things
Yes.
because I'm trying to get the old games back, the old
Yes.
Atari games and the old PlayStation 1 games and the old Sega Genesis games. And the Sega Genesis seems to be where it stops because I think it was 32-bit, and I think they only go up to 16 on those. And I don't know if it's they don't put the games on because they're afraid of getting sued, or people still own the rights to some. The Road Rash 2 is what I'm trying to find because I was obsessed with that game. I don't know if any of you ever played that one, but it was
What was that?
motorcycle racing. Yeah, where you do like they would take you out like the real courses, like the one out in California or whatever. They do the street races.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, they're trying to find it. And
You
then
might
like
be able to get it on the Switch. I have to look, but I think you can.
I'm not allowed to touch her Switch.
Well, you've got to ask.
This
permission.
thing she got it for me for Christmas. It looks like a Game Boy,
I know what you're talking about. I seen them. Yeah, I seen them.
but
on,
it's got a
TikTok
dock
and stuff.
so you can hook it through the TV too, and
Yes.
wirelessly you can connect your PS5 controllers to it. So I'm trying to, and you can download games, but I think it's kind of backdoory, kind of illegal. the way you download these games. I'm not sure if it's like jailbreaking stuff. I'm not sure.
It's weird that you're talking about games because I discovered it. I didn't know about this, but okay, so we have a Fire Stick. But if you have Amazon Prime, you can get some of these games for free. You can also play your Xbox, your PlayStation, and everything else, and like you have like a cloud setup that goes onto your TV since you're a Prime member, and you can use your phone as the remote control. Yeah, me and Kay were messing around with it.
I'm so far behind on
over
shit.
the weekend.
I just discovered that you can do karaoke on those.
It's called Luna.
Netflix
Luna is the one that you call for Amazon Prime. It came up and I'm thinking, what the heck is this all about? Well, yeah, we discovered it and they're like, they have all these games, like they have Fortnite, Roblox, all that stuff. They have Call of Duty on there. Yeah, so you can play it on your TV. You don't need your console. All you need is your login.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yep, that's all you need.
I never remember my login. Thank God it's all saved on my phone and on my...
Yeah, I'd be lost.
Well, I was shitting bricks this morning when I opened up my Zoom and it was like, please log in. I'm like, what? It never asked me to log in before. But it's because we had such a long break and it reset everything because I had those updates. That must have been one of the apps that updated. And luckily I got it in the first try because we came right down to the last couple minutes. But, it all worked out. All right, guys. I've had enough sitting in this chair. You guys had enough yet? Anything else anybody wants to talk about? We got to do Heather's weather and then...
just keep your date open for the 18th.
What's the 18th?
The new Wolfman's coming out.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to ask me twice.
Salta will be doing her show tonight.
That's right. Saltum is back.
Yes, Saltum is back.
It's that sexy German voice of hers. She will be back this evenings.
9 p.m. Eastern time.
She will be talking all sexy to you. So send in your music to Saltums.
You know what? She was on the air. She was on the other day doing a trial run, doing like a little mini pop-up, right?
Yeah.
And she was doing it live, and I was trying to get her so bad to laugh and get her so fluttered. And I did the one time. She's like, I can't go in the air. I said, I said, stop being so proper. Just be yourself.
Have you ever seen that? Completely off subject, but there was that Nazi knock-knock joke. You ever seen that reel? This guy's like, hey, have you heard that new Nazi knock-knock joke? And the guy's like, no. He's like, knock-knock. And the guy's like, who's there? And the other guy slaps his shit out and says, we will ask the questions. All right, here we go. We got to get Heather's weather. Roll in.
And now it's time for the weather with Heather.
And since it's cold as fuck out, we're going to do the North Pole. Maybe. Nope. Here we go.
Let's dive into the sizzling vibes of Rio de Janeiro. Welcome to Rio, where the sun kisses the earth and samba fills the air. Today's forecast: hot, humid, and irresistibly tropical. The temperature is lounging around 90 degrees, with the sun blazing like it's auditioning for carnival. The humidity? Oh, it's making everything stick just right, cranking up that sultry golden glow. The ocean breeze whispers along Copacabana and Ipanema, carrying hints of salt, coconut, and the faint rhythm of bossa nova. Waves are rolling in, inviting you to dip into their cool, seductive embrace. Expect a few flirtatious clouds drifting by, but don't worry, they're just here to tease. Sunset tonight will paint the sky in fiery shades of orange and pink, setting the stage for Rio's legendary nightlife to come alive. Dress light, drink cold, and let the city's energy ignite your soul. Rio is calling, and honey, it's impossible to resist. Does that hit the tropical sweet spot?
Tropical sweet spot. That was supposed to be the North Pole one, but I didn't want to do the North Pole anyway. Heather is so organized. She put dates on them this time finally. So, yeah. My bad. I thought I listened to them earlier and got them organized and had them all set up. Heather does have a sexy voice. I bet she smells good too. She'll listen. That'll creep her out intentionally. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. That was Morning Bull. We'll be back Friday. Friday we'll have Puddin's little segment of, are you going to do it for Friday?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. You believe so? Okay. Maybe we'll have the lucky numbers and your horoscopes on Friday. We'll see. You never know about the Morning Bull. It is what it is, and it is whatever it will be. We'll find out. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate you. So peace and love, WBAM. Peace and love.
Peace.
Bye-byes.